with the icon here, or you could just say, I need to say something. Or Edwards, if you could help me with the cue, that'd be excellent. All right, let's get going. Now it's gonna be a short one because we took a lot of stuff out. We're going right to old business. First one is Juneteenth. That already happened in June 18th. I guess we have to, as Al tell me, we just gotta recap how did it happen, how did it go. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend. So if anybody went over there, want to share how it was, go right ahead.
Alder Rodriguez, would you like to share?
Sure. Alder Edwards. So several of us joined Alder Clyburn for what would have been her final Juneteenth celebration. It was hosted at the Edgewood Park, and myself, my colleague Alder Singh was there, Alder Evelyn Rodriguez, and Alder Hurt, Marshawn Sabin, and she read several poems. Alder Cream, I'm not quite sure. Yvette Hamilton was there as well. And it was a lively presentation. There were poem readings, there were songs done, and the ritual of the spreading of the flower petals in honor of the ancestors. And so again, it was a very well received to the visitors that were at the park, and looking forward to having another celebration like that next year. Thank you, Mr. Chair and Madam Secretary.
Thank you.
Alder Douglas was there too.
My apologies. I do want to acknowledge that my favorite Alder Douglas, was there as well.
Anybody else wants to say something about it?
Thank you all, Mr. Vice Chair. Along there were some city official was there, Dr. Mehul Dial and his wife, and the mayor was there, and there was a representative from Southern was there also.
Just for the record, I want to acknowledge on the furlough.
I must say it was a great turnout, great turnout.
And just Alder Douglas and Alder Rodriguez, be careful. I see you guys are driving. Just be very careful. Okay. I'm glad you joined, but still be careful. Anybody else wants to share anything else, or should we continue?
I don't see any hands up. So I think we should continue. Alder Evelyn Rodriguez and Alder Richard Furlow have now joined us as well.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right. The next thing on the agenda is the gala. I think about the gala, we need to vote to see if we are we voting for that? To see if we accept Daniel Diaz?
No, we have not done that yet, and that is on our agenda for tonight. Would you like me to throw it out there, or you want to throw it out there?
No, I think we have to vote to see if we're going to accept them.
Yes.
If he is going to be one of the honorees, and tonight we're voting to see if we accept them or no before we send the invitation to him.
Yes.
Any comments about him, for or against?
That is our Board of Ed representative that has been sent in. They typically give us someone to honor, and typically we do honor their selection. So it is our task tonight for everyone. The name submitted was Daniel or Danny Diaz for the New Haven Board of Ed. So our chair is going to initiate a vote on that.
Before we vote, anybody? Oh, I see. Rodriguez has the hand up.
Go ahead, Alder Evelyn Rodriguez.
No
comment. Yes, I think that he would be a wonderful add-on to our awardees. Mr. Diaz is really very committed to the community in so many ways. And I personally, throughout many jobs that I have held, I always called upon him to help me with children and families throughout the city of New Haven. I think he would be a tremendous add-on to our ticket. Thank you. Thank
Thank you. Would anyone else like to say anything? Alder Frank Douglas would like to say something, Chair.
Go ahead, Alder Douglas. You're on mute. There you go. Sir, you're still on mute.
So if I may, I'd like to make a motion to select Mr. Diaz as what the Hispanic representative from the Board of Ed as a honoree for the gala.
I second the motion.
Okay, the motions have been said and second, but before we even do anything, I saw Alder Carmen Rodriguez hand up. You want to say something before anything, or you just want to go for the vote? I think she froze. Yeah, she's froze.
She's transitioning probably to
Yeah, I
her
saw her.
other
She
computer.
got the car, yeah.
Mhm.
So, any discussion about it? I mean, Alder Rodriguez say something nice about him. Anybody against it?
I think this is Alder Rodriguez. Sorry about
go ahead.
that. I agree with both of my colleagues. He is definitely supportive of our families during the pandemic and prior to the pandemic, always engaging the students and ensuring safety for all. So he would be a phenomenal candidate for this award. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Alder Carmen Rodriguez. Just for the record, our President Walker Myers has joined us too. Just to catch you up, we talking about Daniel Diaz. We voting. Well, we already moved. If it moved and second, we're in discussion about his nomination. Would you like to say something before we do the vote?
Yes, thank you. I think the nomination is fitting, so I think we should do it. Thank you.
All right. So nobody else? Or the others, anybody? No?
I see no other hands up.
So should we say one by one or all together? Just say by saying aye. Whoever's in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against?
Aye.
Okay, so we got Daniel Diaz as I think he's the last honoree that we needed, right? Right, Al?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, the next thing on the gala that I see here on my notes, we gotta make sure we pay the deposit to get the date. And I guess the book of ads is also, we have to get moving on that one. Like I said, this is my first meeting as a chair.
You're doing a good job.
No, I know, but I think it's about this. After the meeting, I'll just sit with Al and see where we at on the deposit. I don't know if we're ready to pay the deposit. If we are, we should go pay it because Alder Morrison is not here. Oh, go ahead.
I can recap you. I have been speaking with Mr. Lucas. We do need to get our deposit paid ASAP. So at this point, we just have to give him a $1,200 deposit and a signature. So we need to make sure we have our treasurer get that in process for us ASAP, so that we can secure our date, because they're going to give our date away if we do not do that. And you're right. Then our next step is we do have to come up with the theme.
Oh, that's right, the theme. Yeah.
So it would be great if anyone that has suggestions on a theme, send an email. I'm going to say ASAP, but please send an email by the end of the week to Mr. Al Lucas with your theme if you want it to be into consideration.
And do we have, oh, go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead. Other than that, once we get the deposit done, we can get the ball. We got to keep this ball rolling. We have it under control, but we just wanted to let you all know and get you all up to speed on that part of it. So if you have a suggestion for a theme, you don't have to have one. I don't want you to feel like I'm giving you homework or forcing you, but
Yes, she is.
just send a message to Mr. Lucas by the end of the week. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're very welcome. Once again, I'll reach out to Alder Morrison tomorrow, or maybe today after the meeting. I'll send a text to see when she's ready to make that payment, because we got to secure the date. That's the first and foremost. If we don't have a date, we got nothing. So the book of ads and the team. Now, should we have a list of the teams that we already used, so we don't?
Our office staff will have that. That is a suggestion.
Yeah, we probably tell Al to send what we already used, so we don't, you get an idea what, what kind of teams we could use. Anything else on the gala that I missed or the Edward missed?
That
returning perhaps for everybody.
Alder Walker Myers, our president.
Go ahead, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think if we're gonna have a student MC like normal, then we need to figure that out as well. That's it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Recording in progress.
You're welcome, yeah. Okay, so anything?
I also
Okay.
have Mr. Chair.
Oh, go ahead, on the furlough, I didn't see you.
I'm just wondering if we've been able to, is that me echoing?
Rodriguez, Carmen, hit your mute. One of your devices is echoing.
Okay. I'm just wondering if we've been able to renegotiate the price with Anthony's. I may have missed a meeting, but it seems like that price was a lot higher. And I understand that we've had the same price for many years, and maybe this is just us catching up with the economy. But I'm just wondering if we've been able to do any renegotiation with that price, or whether Alder DeCola is able to offer some assistance with that since it's in his ward. And also regarding the booklets, whether Alder DeCola has also offered to help with the books so that we can get more ads in. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, may I respond?
Do it, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to give you a brief synopsis. The rate, Mr. Lucas did speak to the venue, and our rate did go up slightly. It only went up slightly because of the pricing because of COVID. He did figure it out. I don't have that number in front of me. I apologize. I left my briefcase in the car and my notebook is in there. However, it did not triple or double. Our price we were paying did go up slightly this year, but after the calculations were done, if we did the $100 per ticket to maintain the open bar and everything, we do still get like $20 off of that. So that was that part. And as far as the booklet, the ads, and we can reach out, I'll double check if Alder DeCola is able to do anything. He did volunteer to help with the ads and the booklets. So we will make sure he's in the loop and get this rolling once we get that deposit in, or as we're doing that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you all the others. I will get in contact with Sal too, Alder DeCola. So the tickets are going to be $100. Did I hear correctly? All the others? Okay. Something else that they just asked me, because right now in my ward, the two candidates for mayor are talking to my 4 shares. Before I came here, I was there for a little bit, so I had to come. And they did ask me when I told them about the gala, they didn't even know it was going on. I said, yeah, I told you guys. But anyways, how's it going to be? Is it going to be full capacity or half, 3/4? How is it going to be? So
At this point, it is
Yes.
285.
That's the total.
That's for now. unless
now.
something changes with the COVID protocols and things like that, then we in turn would have to make a decision to see if we would like to open it up and how much we would like to open it up. But at this point, when Mr. Lucas double checked, those are the protocols at this time.
285 people.
285, so
Okay,
that is the number
Perfect.
for now.
all right. Anything else on the gala from anybody? Questions? No? All right, let's move on. The next order is gonna be the board orders agenda for August 2nd. What, it's gonna be in person, if I'm not mistaken, right, Madam President?
Yes, that is the plan,
Okay.
to do the meeting in person. It's been way too many distractions, by doing it through Zoom. So I want to eliminate those distractions and get back into, how our meetings should be conducted. Yeah, so yes, and I don't have the second readings in front of me
I got it right here.
or anything to go over. Okay.
I got it. Do you want me to read everything so you guys know, or you guys?
Well, I mean, the first set is unanimous consent, right?
Yeah,
So we all know why things get on unanimous consent. Is it anything's up there other than the tax,
right now,
the
all I see
tax,
is tax collection.
for the,
Nothing for tax
okay, so
abatement.
then we're fine with that.
Yeah,
Okay, so we know why that's up there.
Yeah.
What the readings are for you know, your homework. And what is under the second readings, if you can just tell me?
a second reading is the Democratic Affairs. I'll read them all.
Well, you don't have to,
Oh, okay. So it's
because
just
automatic affairs,
the
you know, those
appointments.
are appointments.
Yes, yeah.
Yep. That go
Okay,
through
and-
the committee process, and that's favorable. So that's why they're in front of us to vote on. And then the next group is what?
City service, I got one, leave to withdraw, Democratic Affairs.
Okay.
Then we got city services, CSEP.
Okay, what's up there?
You want to read those?
Um,
Okay, this is order of the New Haven
Yeah.
Board Orders extending restoration parking zone to include the non-permitted unrestricted parking section on the north side of Huntington Street, running down from, but not including 23 Huntington Street to Whitney Avenue. That's the first one, A. B is order of the New Haven Board of Orders approving a 5-year lease agreement by and between the City of New Haven and the Open Community Placement Engagement Network, Inc. for programming at 227, 231 Shelton Avenue and 131, 133 Hazel Street at a rent of $1 per year. That's the second one?
Okay. Okay.
That's it.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so with the city services, we all know they have a learning corridor in Newhallville. So they totally revamped it. They cleaned it up. They've been having programming there, so they're just making it official so that they can have the program in there. The first one I couldn't really hear you, but
That's mine.
I suggest that.
Alder.
Oh,
President.
okay. Well, then you can take it, because I was gonna say people, your person in leadership will reach out to you once, because I didn't read it yet, so that's
Okay.
why I don't remember what was up there on Monday.
Thank you.
So you can take that, Order Edwards. Thank you.
Okay, that's just an extension of our 2-hour parking zone. There is a small section. It's about 100 feet or a little more than 100 feet that was never zoned on that side of the street, and it's next to a church. What's happening is we have a lot of cars and they park and they leave, and they park and they leave. So like there's a school across the street and people that need to use these parking spaces that aren't able to get access. A lot of people that get on the Yale shuttle and go about their business and leave their car. So the constituents and the church reached out to me to get that included in this part of the zoning. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder Edwards. Next, we got community development, favorable. Resolution of the Board of Alders of the City of New Haven approving the disposal of a parcel of land constituent a portion of 200 Derby Avenue in the form of a defined traffic easement to State of Connecticut Department of Transportation. That's a community development. Is anybody knows about that?
Alder Douglas, if he's on the call, didn't you chair that meeting? I could talk a little bit about it. I guess it's in my area.
I don't feel the
No, to make it easier, because I really need to see it. I can't really hear. I don't know what's up with my phone. To make it easier, people should just wait for their person in leadership to reach out to explain what each of the items is, because I want to give people the full answer, and I can't hear it all. I hear bits and pieces of it because I'm actually driving, unfortunately. So we should just do that, so that way we don't take up most of the caucus time where I can't hear you in the first place. Thank you.
I agree. And the next one is the Health and Human Services, endorsing the Medicare for All Act of 2021. So, like the Madam President said, wait for your free leader to call you, and then if you got questions, ask. Going down the road, being new business, vaccine check-in and pop-ups.
Hello, can I ask a question?
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much.
Before you ask, I got to acknowledge all the Crespo has joined. Go ahead now.
Yes, can we talk a little bit about that last item? Only because I've been getting a lot of emails in regards to that last item. Can we just get a little heads up on it? If that's okay with the president.
She's talking about the healthcare for all, Medicare for all. Is that the one you're talking about, Alder Rodriguez?
Yes, yes.
So thank you, Mr. Chair. So the Medicare for All, we all know it was a group that is advocating the state to give Medicare for all. They had a public hearing on it. I would suggest people actually listen to the hearing to understand all of the pros and cons with it. It was some testimony in reference to if something like this was passed at the state level, it would cause some of the private healthcare providers to have an increase somewhere in their in amount of money they pay that might be passed down to the workers. But I would suggest you actually listen to the whole hearing. You've been getting a lot of emails. I think everyone has been getting them. I know I sure have. I think everybody's been getting them because they're the same email, right? It's kind of like the same thing that happened with the defund police, right? Somebody wrote an email and then people copied and pasted their names, their names to it. But the Human Services Committee had a whole hearing on it. So I would suggest people actually listen to it so that they can, if they're interested in hearing some of the testimony that was presented that night. And remember that our meeting is like 3 weeks off, or I don't know if I'm right on the time, but however, so it will be time for those conversations that happen more in depth, like we always do. We'll do it. If you have further questions, leadership meet and talk. People will be talking to the people in their trees. And then I suggest people actually listen to the public hearing that happened that night. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair,
thank you.
Furlow has his hand up as well.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I think in addition to what Madam President has stated, it's good to know that this is just a resolution. We don't have any authority. It's a resolution that will go to the state, giving them our opinion on the matter. And so we're not passing any piece of legislation. It's not an ordinance. It's just a simple resolution. And in addition to listening to the tape, it might be good to talk with Alder Brackeen, because I think he was the sponsor, I believe, Madam President, if I'm right. I think he's the sponsor of this. Yep, and so he'll have maybe even some more insight as he should be calling around to colleagues and asking colleagues to support this if he wants to see this resolution passed favorably. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Majority Leader Furlong.
Yep, thank you. Any other question about that? No? Okay, let's go. Oh, our president has their hands up, right?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. And one more thing, it's I can't remember. You guys know I'm kind of bad with names. I can't remember the name of the man. I guess he's a co-sponsor or something. He's actually calling people to see if they will support, because he left a message on my phone. So you might get a call from somebody in addition to Alder Brock. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. Okay, let's continue. Next one is the vaccine check-in and pop-ups. Who wants to say something about that? Alder Douglas?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a pop-up tomorrow in Ward 2 at the St. Paul's Episcopal Church over on the corner of Chapel and Dwight Street. And that starts at from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Now it states that it's for teens, but anybody can use it. Anybody can come over and get their vaccination done. Just have to show up and have an ID, and that's about it. That's currently what's happening right now as far as the pop-up. Anything else I'm not really aware of. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome. And I am assuming it's the Johnson & Johnson, because it's only one-time deal?
No. I believe they're doing Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. They're offering a couple of them. So
Okay, all right, perfect. That's good to know. And the times, you said from 2 to what?
From 3 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Oh, 3 to 7. Okay, that's good. 3 to 7.
And then there will be a follow-up, I believe 3 weeks after that.
Yeah. And you said the corner of Chapel and Dwight, right?
Where's that?
That's right there, right?
Hospitalized are not fully vaccinated.
The Delta variant is here in California.
Okay, so, all right, then the next one is the Village Drill Team event. Okay, oh, hold on. Yes, Alder Evelyn Rodriguez?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I just wanted to look at this concern that I have I don't know if it's happening in the African American community, but in the Latino community, especially the religious community, they are receiving, there's a lot of media, social media, videos, and so forth, talking about why individuals should not get vaccinated. And I don't know if our consensus is that in fact they are taking it at heart. And this is why many individuals are not getting vaccinated. So I don't know, I just wanted to hear a little bit about if you're feeling the same way that I am, or seeing that many individuals in the religious community are not getting vaccinated because of the things that they don't know, or they're concerned about the research or other matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder Rodriguez. I know Alder Edwards had the hand up, but before, I would like to say a comment. If they watch the news, the states that have the most increasing cases are the ones that are not the least people vaccinated. Those are the ones lately that are very bad. And if they listen to that, they'll they'll come around. In my eyes, they'll come around because it says it right there. If you're not vaccinated, they're getting sick. If you don't wanna get sick, get vaccinated. But I hear what you say. It's a lot of false information, and I don't know how can I say this. Well, maybe Elder Edwards has a better explanation than I did.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't know if I have better information, but we have done canvassing in the different areas. The health department has canvassed people. And we have given them myths versus facts. You're gonna have some people that are just not gonna get it. At this point, they're just not gonna get it. They may change their mind at some point with the variants. But there is a lot of education in our city. I will say that. No matter what's on social media, our city has been pretty good about educating the different neighborhoods. So I just wanted to point that out. And Mr. Chair, I'm done, but Alder Furlow had his hand up, and then next in line is Alder Crespo.
I got it. Yeah. I thought. Go ahead, Alder Furlow.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think, and not to draw it out too long, but I think I can speak more specifically to her question as it regards the church. So I'll just break it down very quickly. The vaccine that is put out by Pfizer is a messenger vaccine. It actually writes a message on into your DNA or into your cellular, whatever that is. And we had the talk about that when Dr. Okafor and the health director came on and spoke before the Black and Hispanic Caucus several months ago. This is the concern with the church. The enzyme that is used to actually write the message is called luciferase. And so it's because it is a light enzyme. And so the majority of our Pentecostal brothers and sisters are saying, and this is not just here in Connecticut, I've been following this very closely, it is across the country and beyond. They are saying that this luciferase enzyme, because it is a light enzyme, is using the name Lucifer. It is the beginning of the mark of the beast, and that actually being written into you, a code that's written in. And so the churches are saying, many of our conservative Pentecostal movements are saying they are not going to take part in this vaccine because of this luciferase enzyme that is part of it. Many in my movement are looking for letters of to be exempt from the vaccine, which we are not going to do because we have other vaccines that people take, and if you don't take one, if you don't take any, then that's a different story. But you can't take a flu shot and then say you're not going to take this one and expect to have a religious exemption. So my movement, we're not doing that, but it's a real fight. And I'm telling you, the argument is very strong on both sides. To get the vaccine, yes, but the religious argument is extremely strong as it goes into the end days and the mark of the beast. And this, why would they call it luciferase? Holy cow. They named the enzyme after Lucifer. What were they thinking? So there's no hardcore Christian that's going to get a vaccine that's called Lucifer. And so that's the battle of where we are, Alder Rodriguez. And thank you, Mr. Chair. These ships are going to fall where they are. I heard on the news today, I heard from the Attorney General was speaking, and he said that they're leaning towards making this mandatory. Well, If that happens, there's going to be a fight with the church. I tell you that, because they're going to say this is the mark of the last days, and the rising of the beast, and it's going to be quite a fight. And so hold on to your hats, Mr. Chair. This is going to get really interesting.
Thank you, Majority
And I'm not
Leader
laughing
Calderon.
about this because it's a very serious matter.
Yeah,
So
no,
I'm
it is.
definitely
It
not
is.
making fun of this at all. Not at all, because it's very serious.
Yes,
And,
it
you know, but here we are. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
We know
Thank you,
you're serious.
Mr. Chair Santiago. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And on the Crestful, has a hand up too?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Mr. Majority Leader, for providing that insight, which is what's happening in our community. But I also wanted to inform our colleagues that Connecticut, if I'm not mistaken, based on several articles that I've read and data in the CDC website, Connecticut is, I believe, number 4th of the highest states with vaccinations out of the whole US. So we rank number 4 with close to, if not more than 73% of the population being vaccinated. So we have at least 2.2 million folks in Connecticut already vaccinated. And just wanted to also inform that the trends were strong in the beginning. I can tell you that a lot of folks came in my community within the church with that same concern. But since that conversation about 3-4 months ago, folks have looked at a positive resolution and have actually accepted the vaccine. I've also worked with multiple patients. I work as an advocate for patients, and a lot of them with religious backgrounds also felt the same way and felt that they weren't going to get vaccinated. But since I've had a conversation with them this particular week alone, they have changed their minds and have gotten vaccinated. Some are coming back for their second dosage. So while that is certainly a real aspect because of it is tied with the end of days and the tribulations and the mark of the beast, folks are being they're doing their due diligence and they're actually doing some research and coming up to speed with getting vaccinated. So as more and more people become educated and understand what's really happening, they're feeling more comfortable with taking that vaccine. And just like my colleague, Alder Edwards, stated, not anyone and everyone is going to want to get it. So unfortunately, at this time, we try to educate and make a suggestion, and hopefully they can change their minds for the well-being of their families. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
If I may just add on very quickly, Mr. Chair, I would recommend for our church family to go with the Johnson & Johnson, because it doesn't have that enzyme that people are concerned about. And although there are some that are concerned about the blood clots and some of the other side effects that that one has, the percentage according by the millions that have received it is very low. And so I find that one to be a bit more palatable to for our Christian brothers who have very strong convictions with the Pfizer one. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, yeah.
I completely agree with Mr. Majority Leader. I know that recently there was a surface that they were expecting to give a booster shot for the Johnson & Johnson, but based on several research, it doesn't really do any good or doesn't do any harm, or it doesn't give you additional strength. So if folks would like to take a vaccine, I agree, the Johnson & Johnson, and they do not need to get the booster to get more of an umph, if you will. So if folks are concerned about that, they don't need to take it because it's not really any benefit to them. Thank you.
Yeah, and just for a correction, the Pfizer is the one that's doing the booster, not the Johnson & Johnson. I think you said.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, yeah. All right, anybody else for that? No? Let's continue with the agenda. Next one is the Village Drill Team Events. Okay, I know I got a letter here. Unfortunately, I think every year we help them with donation. This year I met with all the Claiborne Friday. We were talking here, and we're not giving donations, so she made the call in front of me. And she did invite everybody. I don't know if you got the email. This Friday, at 2 o'clock in East Rock. Miss Shirley Banks drill team invited everybody. If you could call, perfect. It's on East Rock Park, Friday at 2 o'clock. And I believe they have a new, I don't know how to say this, a chant or a dance or a song for the Black and Hispanic Caucus. So there's something for us there too. So if you could attend, I think it's brand new. I think they had one last year and they have a new one for us this year. Again, it's Friday at 2 o'clock and East Rock. That's the notes I got here with all those themes. Anybody else have anything about the village drill team? No? Okay, so that's it for that one. Again, other news. I don't know if you guys know, we have a check here that United, what is it? Sorry about this. United here gave a donation to the Black and Hispanic Caucus for $1,000. So I believe the check still in the mailbox of Alder Morrison. I think it's been there for a few weeks. So I'll probably have to give her a call, or I'll check when I leave because I'm here at City Hall. When I leave, if he's still there, I'm gonna have her come here and deposit. So it's a nice donation from United here. So we have to do a thank you. I'm gonna see if I could get a thank you card, send it to them. I don't know if Alder Clyburn did already. I'll call her. I was talking to her this morning. So I'm going to call her again to see if she did. If she did, I'll make sure they get a thank you note, which is very nice from them. Alder Walker Myers, do you want to add something about this? You know there?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I would just like to add, Unite here still felt that it was really important to send some type of support to the Black and Hispanic Caucus. So I think that's a testament to our work, because as you know, most of you know, taking a hit during COVID, where 85% of their workforce was out of work and is still out of work, but they still saw fit and necessary to continue to support what we're doing here in New Haven. That's all I have to say, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? No? Okay, let's continue now. The next order of business is any other business that anybody wants to bring up? Any new business? Alder Douglas got the hand up. And then Alder Crespo. Go ahead, Alder Douglas.
I don't have my, do I have my hand up? I don't have my hand up.
No, you just took it out, okay. All right, Alder Crespo, go ahead. You're mute.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to add that for new business, there is going to be an event in August. And it's going to be, I believe, the second week of August, where one of the reverends in my community, Reverend Wayne, he wants to put together, he's putting together an event to put shoes of those leaders in our community that have impacted us throughout the years. So he's looking at getting shoes from reverends, getting shoes from the Black community, the Hispanic community, the white community, the minority community, military, and getting shoes almost as a symbol that they have journeyed a lot for our community over the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years. So I want to welcome everyone to join. I'm going to get the information from Wayne as he's putting the flyer together. And it's going to be a open event. It's going to be at Downtown Green. And everybody's invited to that. And as a matter of fact, he specifically asked to get a hold of the chair of the Black and Hispanic Caucus. So I wanted to bring it to your attention. Because if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be August 21st at 2 p.m. But let me confirm. The reason why I'm not going to be able to attend, I'm actually going to be out of the country during that time. And so I've actually offered him to have other colleagues to be present, and specifically asked for Alder Santiago as the chair of the Black and Hispanic Caucus, because he wants to bring together the unity of how we, in Fairhaven at least, we have a rich history of working together, of collaborating, of being able to motivate each other. And we want to be able to bring that into perspective and have NHPD Fire, the mayor's office, Board of Alders, the reverends and the clergy from Black and Hispanic and white, and be able to come together in that event. He is aware that there might be some guidelines that he has to adhere to as far as social distancing and how many people, but he certainly is making an invite to all the Board of Alders. As soon as I get that flyer, I'll forward it to you, and I'll forward it to Al Lucas so he can also send it to us. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you on the question. And just clarification, you say August 2nd or August 21st?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Just clarification, you said August 2nd or August 21st?
21st.
Okay.
August 21st.
All right, because
If I'm not mistaken, is August 21st, because that is the day that I will be here. But I'm going to confirm with him today. I'm going to ask him for the flyers. And once he send that to me, I'm going to forward it to you and Al Lucas. One of the things he wanted me to ask is if he can use the City of New Haven logo. Unfortunately, I can't answer that. So I wanted to ask Al through you if it's something that he can add in his logo. I mean, on his flyer.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
We'll talk to Al. I know I asked because I'm coming back from Puerto Rico the 2nd. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make sure because I'm leaving next week, coming the 2nd back. So I should be able to be here for the meeting, for the night meeting, because I'm flying back to New York in the morning, so I should be able to be here. But anyways, that's separate business. Okay,
right, thank
any
you.
other new business? No other new business? Okay. Now, our next meeting is going to be August 11th. But the meeting, leadership meeting, the Friday before is going to be August 6th. It's going to be that Friday, the same week of the Board of Alders meeting. So we're going to meet, the Board of Alders is going to meet the 2nd. Leadership from Black and Hispanics is going to meet that Friday in person. Well, if you can, I like in person. I like in person. It's going to be the 6th. If everything goes according to plan and nothing changes, that we have to do Zoom. If not, in person. If you can make it in person, just please let us know. And before we adjourn, just want to make sure everybody keep Alder Delphine Claiborne on their prayers. Unfortunately, I know she had to resign. Just keep her in the prayers. Keep praying for her. Hopefully everything will turn out good for her. Whatever she decides to do after this, just keep her in the prayers. I am. Anybody else want to say something? We're all the same?
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Do we have to vote in the deposit that we spoke about earlier?
No, that is
No.
not. Sorry.
I don't think so. I think that that's something that has to be done.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
following up before we closed.
Now
Thank you.
we did vote for Daniel Diaz. That's the only vote we had tonight. There's only any other vote. So if nobody else needs to say something, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn, Mr. Chair.
Second,
Is it motion is made and second? Any everybody? I'm sorry, I'm out of here. Only if favor say aye.
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 Aye. Guys, just
Bye.
be safe and keep all the cameras on your prayers, okay?
Thank you.
Good night, people.
Not anyone.